Hello friends! Today we conclude the Garden Gate series by building the pergola. Stay tuned! Alright, well here we are at the third installment. Take a look at that. The arch plus the door looking very good and the garden is nice and full. Time to put a pergola up top. So there are my plans on a piece of wood for the door and then my plans for the pergola. It's pretty straightforward. This is the cheapest project so far for me. I'm using only, it ends up being 4 pieces of 2x4x8 and then this cedar board that I found outside. So all in all less than $15. I went and made some measurements outside of how long I wanted it to be on top of the arch, and I just cut some things to length on the chop saw. This is a template that I made because I want to have that nice arch look on the ends of all the boards, so I traced it there to the perpendicular pieces and also a notch on the bottom and in the top, and you'll see how these all fit together in just a moment. On the table saw I cut these 2x4s in half, and these are going to be the long pieces that go along the top. Then I went and I replaced my regular blade with my dado stack, and I filmed this in time lapse for people maybe who don't have dado stacks, don't know what it looks like. It's a very easy process to get set up, and it makes hogging out material like this a cinch. So I put the 4 boards, my perpendicular pieces, so one in front of each other, and I clamped them down real tight. I love those Irwin clamps. They do a great job of this, and I just slowly moved my fence over and went over it and took that material out on the bottom and on the top. Once that was taken care of, I went and I cut out all the angles on the bottom. Perpendicular pieces, the long slender pieces, and that great big 4x4 cedar board. I had to do that on both ends with my jigsaw, and I was surprised, but the material was so light and not dense that as I traced the pattern perfectly on one end and the other end, my blade never bent. It was a perfect cut through and through. Of course, then I went and I sanded everything smooth that I needed to, and I put a 1/4 inch route over all of the surfaces. Using some Titebond 3 to give me a little bit of extra time, I just went ahead and glued everything up. I didn't put any screws in the project, just glue, and then the paint protects everything. Alright, with the pergola itself assembled before painting, I needed to figure out a way to get the legs to attach. So essentially I just drilled out a 1.5 inch square, and I got to use hand tools like I'm James Wright or something. And then to make the fitting form for the 2x4s, I just carved out a square. Taking them outside and getting the face that's going to be on the inside of the arch and then the underside of the pergola painted, it's time to assemble. You can see how nice it looks. Beautiful time of the day. And that's how that square and the rectangle fit together like so. This part, since it was so high up, I have my beautiful assistant, that's my wife Bridget, helping me out. Essentially, I'm just getting that top level, and I'm using clamps to hold it on. And then once the clamps are on, I screw it in. So it's held in by 5 screws on either end going through those 2x4s into the 4x4 beam of the arch. And the top is not held in with anything. In case in the future this shifts over the winter time and I need to reposition it, I thought I'd give myself that leverage. And of course we have our Dahlia purple paint to put that final coat on. This was a really fun project. Thank you for coming along for this 3-part series. I hope you really enjoyed it. Thanks to my patrons over at Patreon for making it possible. And yeah, if you like this, let me know in the comments section and tell your friends about it. So until next time, happy woodworking and happy gardening. Hey guys, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe right away and then hit that notification bell down below so you're the first to see anything else that I put out. If you like this video, go check out either of these two, and as always, thanks to my Patreons for making things possible. Until next time, bye!